G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, those last couple of videos I did where I played around with these pesky aluminium brazing rods with a sort of moderate success. I got lots of comments and everybody was really helpful and understanding that my incompetence was due to the lack of familiarity. And yeah, I read the instructions and that did help a lot. And I mean, I did this brazing on the end of this block, and then I chopped it back with a cold chisel, and it hung on pretty damn well. Which surprised me because the alloy just seemed to be floating on top, but it actually, when it was hot, but then it did actually bond quite strongly, and I had to chop it, quite severely with the little cold chisel to separate it. So I was getting close. So I just about thrown the towel in. I'm sick of doing this, let's move on to something else in life. And I'd achieved my goal of making up that knob, for my project, which I'm going to show you in another video. Oh yeah, super project coming up. It worked okay on that, but of course it could work better, and if I, want another knob, I'd redo it and I'd use some of the techniques I've learnt from these last two videos. Anyway, I'm going to have one last crack at it, and if this doesn't work, I'm going to get the axe and put it through something, because I've just about had this. Alright, we'll have one more crack at this mother, and what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to heat it up away from the job. I'm going to rub it with a little brush in one direction, as people say, get the nasties away, and then I'm going to rub the rod on, touch it on there so it just goes on, and then sort of tin it with the rod, and then I'm going to, while it's hot, I'm going to move around the tinned, the alloy, so the tinning does something, and then I'm going to then apply the final bit, the final, amount of rod, and supposedly that should be it. I mean, that's all I can do. People do say use some flux, but I haven't got the right sort of flux, and some of the flux they were talking about sounded a bit dangerous, so I didn't really want to play around with that. So we'll do it the way the book says, and the book, the instructions just say rub it, heat it, rub it again, and then whop the rod on. They don't say anything about rubbing the rod into the metal, which is what a lot of people have said, and looking at some other videos, it looks like that might be the go, not with these rods anyway, because this is a different brand. These are Techni 2000, the other ones were HTM 2000 or something like that, but a more modern rod supposedly. Alright, let's get on with them. I'm going to have one last shot at this and see what happens. Okay, that took a lot of heat that we got there. I mean, there's two rods here, I don't know which is, I mean, one's a bigger diameter than the other one, so I used the small one and did better with that. I don't know how come there's two different sizes. Maybe they come like that in the packet, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we'll let it cool down. That looks like it's bonded pretty well, so I think probably the brushing it while it was all molten probably did the job. I think this will be a success. Look, almost melted my little brush. Oh well. It's solid yet. Oh yeah. So I expect that will take some chopping off. So here we have the offcut, which I've run over the lender shift to clean it up so we can get a clear look at how the metal was bonded, and we can see we've got complete coverage, clear delineation between the two metals, no air bubbles. The base metal looks to be relatively unaffected. So yeah, it's a pretty good result. I think that's about as good as you could ever hope to get, and certainly it looks to be up to the task. So, alright, looks like I've finally cracked this, and we'll just move along and try the chisel test. She never looks like moving. Here we go. I mean, we're getting it off, but we're really tearing out the base metal as well. Coming close on that. You can see what it's doing, it's chopping the base out. So it certainly has adhered, it's certainly done the job, and yeah, I might have been a bit negative about this stuff. It looks like, yeah, if you use it right, it looks like it will do the job. So I have to eat humble pie on this, I'm afraid, but oh well, you live and learn. So yeah, if it can put up with this sort of treatment, well, it's obviously doing the job. All right, well that's it from me. I thought originally these rods were actually made by beer companies, because after I'd used it the first couple of times, I had to have a beer, and in fact several beers to get over it. But it looks like I'm wrong. They're probably made by the Coke company. Okay, that's Coca-Cola, not the powder stuff. All right, that's it from me. See you next time. Cheers.